Here we are in the old succulent room. It's kind of messy. We've been cleaning up in here, but this is where my original, when I moved here, succulent collection started. Not started, but where it just continued growing from where I moved from. And then we enclosed this area, which became the succulent room. I'm back in here because I have no room in my greenhouse. My big greenhouse is so full, and I have like my collection in the back, so there's just no room. And so we're moving in here, and I'm moving all my plants to be propagated here, since it's too cold to do that in the shade house up by the shop. Okay, so these guys are gonna be getting more shade than the rest of the plants, and so I'm putting my Haworthia cymbiformis flat in here. More cymbiformis and more that I need to propagate. And I brought my gray ghost. Oh, you can tell. Variegation. Which has a whole bunch of pups. Now I was selling it a long time ago for $9. But I'm gonna remove the pups and let them grow. I don't know the name of this Haworthia, but it's from my collection. I've had it for about like 4 years, and it's just been throwing off pups. I've never removed any. Usually I remove pups like this off my collection plants and gift them to people who order from me online. So that one somehow got missed, and I don't think I've ever pulled any off of that. And then I have these that have grown just wild, need to be repotted, need to be separated, which is the Cylindrica sansevieria. I have some Gasterias in there. Don't really belong in here, but it's okay. I have Orbeas underneath these Euphorbia millii, and they need to be propagated. This is the red Huernia, so I need to get more cuttings of that. And then I have my Portulacaria afrovariegata right here. So long and stemmy, so I'm going to chop all of this down, set it to root. I have my mother plants here. They've been growing kind of leggy, so they need to be chopped. I have a Cuspidata Haworthia right here, some Venosa tessellatus poking in there, and babies need to be separated. And then these are my mother plant, my Crassulas. Look at all these campfires. Look at the red. And see what I'm talking about? You chop the stem like this. Is so leggy. I'm gonna chop it. Babies are gonna continue to come off of the stem, so I need to do that because I can't sell them like that, all stemmy and stuff and leggy. So they need to be chopped back, set to root. And then I have my aloes here I need to separate. These have been living in 4-inch for the past 5 years, and so I need to also, they have a lot of stem on them, so I need to cut them back. These are the flats that I use, like little starter flats. And when I take cuttings from my mother plants, I set them in here to root. They're being held up by the rosette, and that way the stem can callus. Actually let them develop roots while in these flats. While they sit in these little cells, I let them grow roots before I put them in a pot with soil. So I don't take cuttings and put them in soil after they callus to root. I've never really done it that way. It's much easier to do it this way. I'll show you. These have been here needing to have been repotted for a while. Move these aloes. They need to be cleaned up. Poor aloes. And okay, so these have been sitting here for, I want to say 2.5 weeks, probably. And let me show you. See what I'm talking about? Now, some of these are like little side babies coming off of the mother plants, so some of their stems are kind of crooked. So, but for the most part, some of those bottom leaves, some of them are thirsty. Look at all those roots, see? So I really need to pot these today in some soil ASAP And there you go. See what I'm talking about? I think these were taken not that long ago, and I had extra room, so I put them in here. These were just taken not that long ago, so they don't have roots yet. But in these guys, of course, I took these just the other day, so no roots yet, but these girls need to go in pots. Hello everyone, so I'm in the propagation room right now. I realized that what I recorded earlier was vertical, so it's gonna look not as big on the video. My bad, I forgot to record the right way. But yeah, so I went ahead and I transferred my cuttings yesterday into 2.5-inch pots, and so I have my Euphorbia Millii transferred into the cuttings. I have them transferred into, really messy because it was really wet yesterday. My soil was wet and my bin was wet, but I needed to plant them, so I got them in 4-inch pots. I brought my clippers today, and I'm gonna just chop a whole bunch of stuff. As I'm planting things, I got rid of half of the cuttings that were in that flat, so as I'm getting rid of them, putting them into pots, into soil, I'm gonna start chopping some more stuff and just setting them in flats to root. So right now I'm gonna be taking a whole bunch of Portulacaria cuttings and oh no, I have a helper in here today. He's not supposed to be in here. So here they are, cuttings put into 2.5-inch. No, little guy. And the aloes those are all fully rooted. So I brought the Senecio in here. I just really put him in here to keep him out of the cold. I don't necessarily think I'm going to chop him up. He's in a gallon pot, and I think I'm going to use him in the landscape. Not necessarily going to propagate him at all. And then I have all these overgrown euphorbias here. I don't know yet if I'm going to take the babies off or just pot them up like that. I'm thinning some of these cactus out, and these Kalanchoe or Kalanchoe, whatever you want to say, tomentosas, are mother plants that have just overgrown, so those will be propagated as well. Some Ripsalis, and then I'm finally going to get to this Uptenia cordifolia, the variegated ice plant, today, and then those are so stemmy, like I said, so I'm going to take cuttings of those, and then these girls, because I don't know if I'm going to do the crassulas this time, because I don't have that much space in here, but we'll see.